So what if you could just get life advice from two of the most successful minds on the planet? I'm talking about Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Well, today, we're going to do just that. We're going to distill decades of their wisdom into just five powerful principles you can start applying to your own life right now.
Let's start with a story from Warren Buffett. Imagine for a second you're gifted the car of your dreams. Whatever you want, it's yours. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. It is the only car you will ever get in your entire life. Now think about it. How would you treat that car?
And that simple, powerful idea brings us to our very first principle. Because, as you've probably guessed, this isn't really about a car. It's about the single most important asset you will ever own.
And here's where Buffett makes this brilliant connection. Look, you're not actually going to get only one car, but you are only going to get one mind and one body. That's it. That's the deal. And they have to last you a lifetime. So his point is, you have to invest in them. You have to care for them with that same meticulous once-in-a-lifetime attention you'd give that one precious car.
Okay, so you're taking care of your one mind and body. What's next? How do you actually put that incredible asset to work? That brings us to our second principle, which is all about strategy. It's about knowing when to act and, just as importantly, when not to.
Buffett's big idea here is something he calls the Circle of Competence. And it's actually way simpler than it sounds. You don't have to be an expert on everything. You don't even have to be an expert on most things. You just have to know, really know, the boundaries of what you understand, and then you stay inside that circle. That's where all your power is. To really bring this to life, Buffett uses this fantastic analogy about the baseball legend Ted Williams. Williams actually mapped out the strike zone into 77 little squares. He knew with absolute certainty that if he only swung at pitches in his perfect sweet zone, he'd be an incredible hitter. But if he swung at a pitch on, say, the low outside corner, his average would just tank. He knew his strengths and he had the discipline to wait.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because here's the big difference between baseball and business or life. In baseball, if a perfect pitch comes through the strike zone and you don't swing, that's a strike against you. But in investing, as Buffett loves to say, there are no called strikes. You can stand there and watch thousands of opportunities, thousands of pitches fly by, no penalty. You can just wait and wait for that one perfect pitch right in your sweet spot.
So, you've got your foundation, right? Your mind and body. And you have your strategy for action, waiting for the right pitch. But what fuels all of this? For both Buffett and Gates, the answer is exactly the same: a relentless, almost childlike curiosity. This quote from Bill Gates is just perfect. He explains that curiosity isn't just about collecting random facts. It's about building a model of how you think the world works, making a prediction, and then, when you're wrong, having the humility to stop and ask, okay, what did I miss? Where's my model wrong? It's like constantly upgrading your own internal software.
And believe me, this isn't just some casual hobby for them. Check this out. Warren Buffett, even today, spends 5 to 6 hours a day just reading. You see, for him, learning isn't just something you do to get ready for your job. Learning is the job.
And nothing, I mean nothing, shows their shared curiosity better than this little story. When Bill Gates and Warren Buffett first met, the meeting was scheduled for 1 hour. Just one. It ended up lasting for 10 hours. Why? Because they just couldn't stop asking each other questions. They were genuinely fascinated to learn from one another. That's curiosity in action.
All right, so this next principle takes us from looking inward to looking outward. Because who you surround yourself with, your friends, your partner, your colleagues, that will largely determine the person you become. It's that important.
Buffett is so direct about this. He basically says, you're going to move in the direction of the people you associate with. So if you want to grow, you have to intentionally surround yourself with people you admire, people who are, in some way, better than you. It's not about feeling bad about yourself, it's about being pulled up. You will naturally start to drift in their direction.
And the key takeaway here is that this is an active choice, not a passive thing that just happens. Buffett says the most important decision you'll ever make is who you marry. It's about making good friends, and then putting in the effort to keep them for life. And it's about choosing friends you not only have fun with, but that you genuinely look up to and admire.
Okay, our final principle. This is a big one. It's a mental model that really ties all of the other ideas together. It's a way to think about focus, patience, and the incredible importance of your biggest life decisions.
I want you to imagine this. The day you leave school, you're handed this little card, a punch card, but it only has 20 holes in it. And those 20 punches, well, they represent every single major investment and life decision you get to make for the rest of your life. That's it.
You only get 20.
The absolute genius of this idea is that scarcity creates focus. If you knew you only had 20 big shots to take, you would think so incredibly hard about each one, wouldn't you? You wouldn't waste a punch on a mediocre idea, you'd wait for the absolute best ones. You'd make damn sure every punch was right in your circle of competence.
And here's the real punchline. You don't even need all 20 of those to be winners. Buffett says you only need 4 or 5. Just 4 or 5 truly great decisions over an entire lifetime to become wildly successful. It's not about how many things you do, it's about the profound quality of a select few.
And that's really the final thought to leave you with. When you start applying this mindset to your own life, it changes everything. It forces you to ask, what really matters? What career move, what relationship, what investment is so important that it deserves one of my precious punches? So I'll leave you with that question. What would you use your 20 punches on?